do I think Gabriella from Saw X deserved it. She's being suspended in the air by one wrist and one ankle in front of this radiation machine. The power of the machine is being increased the longer that she's stuck in front of it. So she has to use this hammer-like tool to break her ankle and break her wrist so she can slip out of the cuffs and out from underneath the machine. Her crime is being complicit in this giant scheme to rip off John Kramer and provide him with false hope in this fake cancer treatment. This trap is kind of ironic though, because long exposure to radiation can actually cause cancer, and Gabriella was pretending to have survived treatment by Cecilia. So in a way, John's like, oh, you said you have cancer? Take this. Gabriella did do a bad thing, but you can tell more so than other people in the group, she didn't want to be there and she didn't want to be doing it.
Breaking news, German prosecutors now say they know exactly where the crime was committed against Madeleine McCann. German prosecutor says police, quote, are more sure than ever that Christian Bruckner is the man responsible for taking the life of Madeleine McCann. As you may remember, Madeleine McCann went missing in 2007 when she was 3 years old from a Portugal hotel. Her case remains unsolved to this day. 46-year-old Christian Bruckner was formally made a suspect by German prosecutors in 2022. He is currently serving a 7-year sentence for unrelated crimes in Germany. In a new documentary titled Prime Suspect, Who Took Madeleine McCann?, the German prosecutor says Bruckner is currently their, quote, one suspect. He also confirmed that authorities believe Madeleine's life was taken in Portugal and that they are sure that is what happened to her. Furthermore, the German prosecutor also revealed that he may know the exact location in Portugal where the crime took place. After a 5-year investigation into Christian Bruckner, the German prosecutor says he still, quote, has no alibi. He says, quote, I can only say that we checked everything and we found no alibi. He goes on to say he is sure of this. The attorney representing Christian Bruckner responded by saying, quote, the public prosecutor's office keeps putting itself in the public eye and saying we have the right person here, and that my client is the person who committed the crime against Madeleine McCann. And this public opinion will become a huge problem because I am of the opinion that Christian Bruckner can probably no longer expect a fair trial in this country. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
You have a love letter from your friend Ethan that is written on paper that he made himself.
It wasn't a love letter, it was just a letter.
You guys love each other, so what?
What in the world?
It's not weird, you guys love each other!
You don't say a love letter when your bro writes a letter to you.
No, it's a love letter, dude.
What is happening?
You guys love each other! It's
Yeah,
not
we
weird.
love each other, but it's not a love letter. It's just a letter.
I mean, do you love him?
Yes, I just said I love him, but it's not
okay.
a love
And
letter.
You wrote him a letter? It's okay.
He literally made the paper himself. Like, that's a love letter.
That's an act of love.
No, everyone shut up. We used to make paper when we lived in Michigan, just for fun.
Yeah.
And we were like just these like weird old hipsters just making paper. And so we used some of that paper.
That's literally a love letter.
It does kind of sound like a love letter. All right, it was a love letter.
Now I'm not sure how I feel.
This is weird.
People are spotting these planes everywhere and they're like stuck in the air and no one has a good explanation for this.
That is freaking weird. That is Southwest.
Is that real?
It is real, but it's like barely moving.
What the fuck? It's not moving at all. What the?
Oh my god.
Some people think it's a glitch in the Matrix while others believe that like we're living in some kind of simulation, but it's weird, okay? I've even seen some people call it the paralela effect or something like that. I don't think I'm saying it right, but whatever that is. And I guess with that effect, you have to be like moving with the plane, and that's how it looks like the plane is stuck in the air. But this girl wasn't even moving. She was just standing and filming it, and it was stuck in the air.
Do y'all see that plane? Is it even moving? Some weird stuff happens in Anchorage, Alaska.
So explain that, will you?
What if all of your dead ancestors watch through your vision? That's weird. Crazy. Everyone jerking off right now is like, oh, you got me. It's like a Twitch stream. Right. Yo! Because if you think about it, ancestors go thousands of years ago till now. So they could probably tap in because it's still your bloodline, right?
Yeah.
What if it really is like that? The afterlife is really like, they can just see, oh, let me see what he's doing, my great-great-great-great-grandson. And then depending on how much things are going on in your life, the more watches you have. Or depending on how good you're doing,
it just increases and increases? Yeah. No way. That's
so it's like donos. It's like subs. You have subs and shit.
Like you see $20 on the ground, it's like that was an ancestor donating that to you.
Yeah, bro.
No, but low-key that's cool because it's like once we go and like our time is finished, fam, I want to see what comes after me.
What do you think the probability of another 9/11 attack?
I think exactly how it's done. It is hard to replace Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, KSM, who planned it. And I'm not going to lie, he was a genius. Do they want to do something at that level? Yes. Do I think that they will do something more innovative than 9/11? Definitely. Remember, they tried it with obviously the liquids on the airplanes. I think the next attack will probably be something more innovative. I don't think it's going to be 3,000, but I don't think it's going to matter if it's 3,000 because they want to hit here and they want to show they can do it and they want to do something spectacular.
The brain surgery trap from Saw X is borderline rigged, in my opinion. Like, throughout the entirety of the Saw franchise, some traps seem more difficult than others, but most of them at least seem plausible within the given amount of time. This guy has to take a bone cutter and cut through his own skull, his own scalp, pull the piece off, take out a piece of his brain matter, and put it in an enzyme tank that will dissolve the brain matter after a specific amount of time. And he has to do all of this and have it completed within 3 minutes. And there's just no way. There's just no way. Like, within the context of the Saw franchise, we've already seen a backdoor brain surgery. We saw it in Saw 3 with an actual medical doctor. And she does this over several minutes. And Mateo spends the first minute and a half of his trap just panicking. So if John assumes okay, he's gonna be able to cut into his head and pull the brain out within a minute, it is so rigged, in my opinion, that the time that it takes for the brain to dissolve in the enzyme tank is included in these 3 minutes. And I think John's doing this on purpose because he doesn't really want them to live anyway.
Facts on Facts, Part 10. Neil Armstrong didn't say that's one small step for man, but that's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. He said that's the only way that statement makes sense. Some cats are allergic to people. The voices of Mickey and Minnie actually got married in real life. You can hear the heartbeat of a blue whale from over 2 miles away. I mean, their hearts do weigh about 400 pounds. Moonflowers actually bloom in response to the moon. Sunflowers will follow the sun as it moves across the sky, and moonflowers will only open up at night or on cloudy days. About 700 grapes go into a bottle of wine. A group of bunnies is called a fluffle. That's the cutest thing I've ever heard. Baby elephants suck on their trunks for comfort, just like how human babies suck on their thumbs. Okay, that's another one of the cutest things I've ever heard. The largest sandcastle ever made measures 54 feet high. On June 28, 2009, Stephen Hawking threw a party complete with champagne, balloons, and hors d'oeuvres. Everyone was invited, but nobody showed up. He knew that would happen because he sent the invitations after the party had already concluded. He said it was a welcome reception for future time travelers and was an experiment to reinforce his 1992 conjecture that time travel into the past is effectively impossible.
Oh, sorry, what? What is this? As I am sure you are very aware, at the moment the world is not the nicest place to be. I would honestly rather be sitting in a little space bubble on the moon or Mars right now because this is madness. And no matter which way you want to look at it, everything that is happening is terrible. There are civilians dying. It's awful. Now, we know there are some powerful bombs out there, nuclear bombs, and that has always been the biggest worry in war. If there's a nuclear war, we're all screwed. Now this doesn't look like much, does it? Little bomb. But America have just unveiled this, and it is not a joke. So the other day China announced they would be doubling their nuclear warheads by 2030. They will have double the amount they have now. So America came back with this. Well, this is the B-6113 bomb. And honestly, if this gets dropped, we are all absolutely screwed. If these start getting flying around between countries and stuff, goodbye. You can just read that. You can just read that. You know how bad Hiroshima was, and Nagasaki. The blast at Hiroshima was huge, wiped out tons of people. This bomb will be 24 times as powerful as Hiroshima. If it was dropped on one city, around 1 million death. What? And as I said, with everything going on in the world, this just makes it 100 times more scary. Yeah, say that for the bun, and I'll keep you updated unless they launch it at England and then bye.
A mysterious book appeared on my doorstep the day after Halloween. Upon opening it, a curse affected my entire family. If you are watching this video on November 1st, 2023, just after Halloween, Drop your age in the comments if you don't want this mysterious book to end up in front of your door and haunt you forever. My name is Charlie, and my terrible story began the day after Halloween. As dusk enveloped the world still imbued with the eerie atmosphere of the previous night, I discovered an old dusty book, adorned with a lock, placed right in front of my door. Intrigued and with trembling hands, I picked it up. The cover was engraved with mysterious symbols, and the pages overflowed with supernatural tales. And then, the phenomenal occurred. The stories came to life. Shadows began to dance around my room, whispers filled the air, and I felt a presence, as if something or someone was watching me. I tried to close the book, but it seemed to have its own will. The stories became darker, the whispers louder. And suddenly I saw a figure, standing in a corner of my room, barely visible. My heart raced, and I realized I had to act quickly. I grabbed the book and rushed outside, throwing it as far as I could. But the moment it hit the ground, the figure disappeared and the whispers ceased. I found myself standing there in the darkness, wondering if all of this had really happened. But here's the problem. The book disappeared, but the presence, it's still there. I feel it, lurking in the shadows, on the lookout. So, if you have experienced something similar, share it in the comments. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. Something tells me that this book will find a way to come back to me, and when it does, I will be ready.
Instagram beauty blogger murder case, but the plot twist is wild, fam.
What happened?
So listen, so this happened in 2022 with a girl named Sarah Bean. One day, she told her parents that she was gonna go link up with her ex-boyfriend. The day she says that, she doesn't come home. So her mom, her dad call the police. Yo, my Sarah Bean is missing. Can you go look for her, right? They find her car randomly in an abandoned part of the forest. Supposedly, they find a dead body. Like her face was stabbed up like 50 times to the point where they couldn't recognize who it was.
Damn.
So obviously the police and her parents are like, that's Sarah Bean's car. She got murdered, right? Now, this is where it twists because they find the autopsy. That's not Sarah Bean.
Oh, so she murdered somebody else.
That's not Sarah Bean. What they find Sarah Bean and her friend on the loose. They take her in for questioning. Her whole plan was to get other beauty bloggers to come to the forest to try out free products.
Oh, shit.
Everyone else declined except that one girl. And who was that girl in the back of the car? That girl who accepted the invite.
Well, why was she trying to murder these people?
And this is why. So Sarah Bean had a lot of family problems and she wanted to fake her own death. So this is crazy. She only reached out to beauty bloggers who look like her.
They are said to be responsible for thousands of missing children in Alaska. This is the Quillupilit. It is an Inuit legend that haunts the waters of their land in northern Alaska. Even though these creatures are in the water, they are far from what you think mermaids and sirens look like. They are more fishy in appearance, with greasy yet slimy hair, and scaly skin with webbed fingers. They are said to lure unsuspected children into the water with their humming. And if the children aren't near the water enough, they will snatch them through the ice. Before we continue this story, you see this thing snatch your kid down into the water. What are you doing? Leave your answers down below. Me personally, we don't have to panic. I can just make another one. They put them in these large fur jackets and pouches called emotics and swim them down into the deep, dark, cold water, feeding on the children's young, innocent energy in order to stay immortal forever. Countless mothers even today warn their children every day not to venture alone too close to the water. Now this right here is supposedly a movie prop, but this is exactly what one would look like if you saw it. So if you're ever in Alaska, make sure you're staying safe away from the waters.
Have you ever heard of the Pickering Lost Boys enigma? My name is Chad Smith, and I am one of the missing. Let me tell you what happened that night. We were 6 buddies, all high schoolers, and we were partying like never before. We were laughing, drinking, in short, enjoying life like any young people our age. Suddenly, one of us had a wild idea. What if we went to Pickering Marina? You know, that place where the rich leave their luxury boats. We went there, and started fooling around on the docks, teasing each other like all true buddies do. But then, everything changed. One of us, caught up in the euphoria, jumped onto a boat. And that's where it all went wrong. The next day, the police received a report. A boat and a paddle boat had disappeared. And we were nowhere to be found. No signs of a shipwreck, no trace of the boat or the paddle boat. we had simply vanished. The police tried everything, questioned all the town's residents, searched nearby water points for wrecks, but nothing. No information, as if we had simply disappeared off the face of the earth. But all that changed when the police found a camera miles away from the marina, in the middle of a forest. The police and the town's population were shocked when they discovered what was recorded on the camera. If you want to know what was on that camera, subscribe, like, and comment, Pickering, or Part 2. Don't miss the continuation of this incredible story.
Breaking news, they are officially reboarding the Idaho 4 home and FBI agents are leaving. FBI agents were at the home yesterday to construct visual and audio exhibits as well as a virtual model of the home. They were seen yesterday taking all of the plywood off of the windows. As of today, they are putting the plywood back up. Here's some footage of FBI agents doing the investigation as well as them reboarding the home. I'll keep you guys updated on any developments. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
Here are some disturbing facts about Halloween. On one October night in 1997, someone managed to impale a pumpkin on top of McGraw Tower at Cornell University. The tower is more than 170 feet tall, so no one knows how the prankster did it to this day. Many shelters don't allow black cats to be adopted around Halloween time out of fear that they'll be sacrificed or tortured. In October of 2009, an elderly man shot himself on top of his LA balcony. But his lifeless body wasn't reported for days since his neighbors thought it was simply a decoration for Halloween. In many cities across the US, registered sex offenders are required to keep their outdoor lights off during Halloween. In October of 2001, 14-year-old Caleb Rebb accidentally choked himself to death while working as a scare actor. He had tied a rope too tightly around his neck, and while he was struggling to untie it and screaming for help, no one helped him because they thought he was acting. Contrary to popular belief, there has never been a single case of kids being poisoned by Halloween candy from their neighbor. The only confirmed case involved a father who laced his own son's pixie sticks with cyanide in order to cash in on his life insurance.
Takes out revolver straight to the face, her in the head in front of her son. So everyone was like, okay, we already know who this is. This is the husband.
Yeah.
Right? The husband comes back home. She's like, what happened to my wife? The kid's like, no, I know you did this. I know you did this. Fam, whole time, the husband had allies saying, no, he was at this place. He was at this place. So the police is like, what the fuck? Who did this? Right? So there was like a Spirit Halloween type store. Across the road. And they interviewed like the cashier. He said, it wasn't a guy that was here. It was a girl. She bought the same clown costume. She bought the red and white face paint. Turns out the whole time, Michael's having an affair with that one girl that killed his wife.
Oh shit.
So I forgot her name, but it was the person that was really having an affair with Michael.
Yeah.
She said, fuck that, I want you out of the equation. Bob, I'm gonna go to your house in a clown costume.
In the clown costume?
Yeah, I don't know. She didn't have to do it.
But why in the clown costume?
I don't know.
Just cause?
Yeah, just cause. Yeah, it low-key would have been easier to go as yourself, but I feel like she thought that, okay, let me have some makeup on at least.
Oh.
And try to disguise myself.
This celebrity just exposed the whole industry.
Sounds like this guy knows what happens to you when you reveal the things you see in Hollywood. Breece Hall made it to the top of TikTok and social media at a very young age, and this is what he has to say.
You believe in God?
Yeah, I believe it, and then I've also seen some like demonic shit here.
You seen what demonic stuff have you seen?
Dude, I'm in Hollywood, bro.
Tell me, what's the most demonic thing you've seen?
Dude, I can't say that, I'll die.
No, say it. Oh no, you've seen the pentagram?
Dude, I live in Hollywood, that's all I gotta say. Like, I've been here since I was 17.
Say on God you've seen a ritual.
Dude, I've seen some crazy stuff. I can't say what I've seen. I'm cool with everybody here in Hollywood.
Nice.
If this clip goes viral, I am really cool with everyone in Hollywood, and I don't discriminate against anyone.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird. Don't forget to like and follow and stay weird. By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird.
He began his killing spree on December 24th, 1975. He stabbed 2 young women who were walking under a bridge with a hunting knife. There was no connection. He didn't know the girls. He didn't ever stalk them. He literally just came across them and stabbed them. One of them died. The other one didn't, but she wasn't able to give a description because it was super dark out. And then months later, so from December of the last year to July of the next year, on July 29th, 1976, 18-year-old Donna and 19-year-old Jody were sitting in Jody's car when Berkowitz ran up to the car and shot Donna as she was getting out of the car to leave. That bullet killed her instantly. However, Jody survived as she was only shot in the thigh when she was trying to get away, and David actually took off because he feared that if he stayed and tried to run after her and capture her, that he would be caught himself. When Jody was questioned by police, she stated that she did not recognize him, but gave a description which fit by Donna's father, who said that he saw the same man sitting in a yellow car earlier that day around the neighborhood. And testimony by other individuals in the neighborhood stated that the yellow car had been seen driving around the neighborhood that night, and police determined the gun used was a .44 caliber Bulldog. And then a few months later, on October 23rd, he struck again, shooting at Carl and Rosemary Keenan while they sat in their car. A window just suddenly shattered, and they immediately drove off.
There's a whole theory where every Disney princess is supposed to represent a disorder.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, so a psychologist took a study down, and they said in every Disney princess, there's like a clear disorder that they have.
You mean like mental disorder?
Yeah, mental disorder. Oh, so Ariel.
Yeah.
If you notice, Ariel has a big ship and there's so much things around her, right? So she's a hoarder, and that's a form of OCD.
Is that OCD?
Yeah, it's OCD in the form of hoarding. So
Okay.
an easy one, Alice from Wonderland. What do you think she has, bro? This is so easy. She sees caterpillars walking around with eyes.
She has schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia. And then Belle, she was captured and put in a castle, right?
Yeah.
So this is called Stockholm syndrome. So that means you fall in love with your captor. She fell in
love with the beast because he was the only one there.
Exactly. And the easiest one, Elsa and Anna. What do you think they have? So they're really reckless.
Oh, Elsa has bipolar.
Yes.
Elsa, yes, she has bipolar. 100%. I just saw that on the fly.
Elsa and Anna, warm to cold, bipolar.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the theory that the Statue of Liberty is actually a statue dedicated to Lucifer? So this is the theory. Look at this painting. On the left, that's a painting of Lucifer in the 17th century. It's a picture of Satan summoning his legion, right? Now this is where it gets creepy. Lucifer is called the light bearer. In Latin, Lucifer means light bringing. The Statue of Liberty is holding a torch, which means it's bearing light, right? Before we jump into details, type amen down below to ward off any evil coming off this video. Now get this, the Statue of Liberty looks like the Colossus of Rhodes, which is a bronze Greek statue that stood about 108 feet tall. It was one of the world's greatest wonders. The Colossus of Rhodes represents something. It is dedicated to the Greek god named Helios, the god of the sun. Now back to the Statue of Liberty. People believe it's dedicated to Satan. I mean, if you look, their faces do look similar. But then again, this is just one big theory. Who knows? Let me know what you think down below.
Breaking news, a body has been found in a floating suitcase. Volunteers cleaning Lake Merritt made the discovery on October 31st around 11 a.m. They were able to fish the suitcase out using net poles that they use for cleanups. Once they brought the heavy suitcase on shore, they unzipped it. Once they unzipped it, one of the workers said, quote, "I thought it was a dummy. Looked like one of those human dummies. It looked like human flesh, and then we opened it up further and realized." Authorities say part of the investigation is to determine where the suitcase may have floated from. Lake Merritt is a 155-acre tidal lagoon in the middle of Oakland, California. At this time, the identity of the victim has not been released. I'll keep you guys updated. What do you think? Drop in the comments.
So there's this guy on Reddit, and his brother passed away.
Okay.
So every single time he would play Need for Speed with his brother. One time he loaded up Need for Speed. This was after his brother died.
Yeah.
And he just like wanted to feel that comfort again of playing with him. So he loaded up Need for Speed, and when he was driving,
there's a car.
There's like the invisible car like that shows his race. So he started driving, and then because it remembers, right? It remembers like the last race, the best record.
Oh, okay.
So he's driving it, playing the game, and then just before he hit the finish line, he's like, "Nah, he has to win." Because he could erase his brother if he beat him.
Oh, that's kind of
so
sad.
he can never beat his brother in this game,
That's
or like
kinda
he'll be gone forever.
That's actually real. That sounds like the most fake story.
No, this is a true story. This is like on.
if he won, I wouldn't see my brother again. No, this is real, fam. I'm pretty sure it's either like I would be in there like, hell yeah, new record. You know when like